Hi, how are you? So we're checking out another video by Eddy Burback. If you remember the last one, I was trying to not trying, but I was kind of shredding his arguments against Glee. For those who don't like Glee, I was defending it the whole time. Unfortunately, because I don't like Glee because it didn't live up to the potential it had, and so I was just attacking all his I think bad arguments against Glee when I think there are good arguments to attack Glee. I went into that video not realizing I was going to defend it the whole time. This time, I found a video by Eddy. Hopefully, again, I'm going into this thinking I'm going to agree with him. It's called Bill Maher Needs to Stop Talking. I agree. Bill Maher needs to stop talking. I used to like him, right? Now he's just become more of a puppet. He used to be the guy that didn't care, right? He was the guy that didn't give a fuck. He would attack all sides of politics. He would just call out stupidity where stupidity was. Even if I didn't agree with him sometimes, you couldn't argue that that's what he was trying to do, and I respected that. But now, oh my god, now he's just this propaganda machine, which I don't understand why so many people, once they get fuck you money, they stop saying fuck you, right? They become a shell of what they were. And they just sit back and try to collect more money. I don't get it. Now's the time. You could spend your whole life without getting more money and actually do what you loved when you were younger, which is take on the fucking bullshit. And so many of these people, once they get that fuck you money, all they want is more money, and they just become this talking point propaganda machine. And that's what Bill Maher has become. And it's wild. So I agree that Bill Maher, plus his audience, it's like Christopher Hitchens said. Now, Christopher Hitchens, at the time, I believe in this video, he was defending the Iraq War. But I agree with Christopher Hitchens when he told Bill Maher that your audience, who will apparently cheer for anything, is frivolous. And he gave him the finger.
That's not facetious.
That's not facetious. Your audience, which will clap apparently anything, is frivolous.
No, I'm just saying.
I agree. Bill Maher's audience is one of the most asinine, puerile, piece of shit audiences on television. I cannot stand his audience. They have no brain cells at all. They can't think. They do not know how to form a rational thought. Bill Maher could fart into the mic and they go, that's a good point, right? Why applaud like that? They're so mindless. Oh, yes, good point. Why are you applauding so enthusiastically for every dumb statement? I don't get it. I hate his audience more than any other audience. Anyway, let's check this out. Bill Maher needs to stop talking. I definitely agree.
Hi, welcome to my channel.
He better not have me defending Bill Maher this whole time. I swear to God, like Glee. He baited me. Eddy fucking baited me, dude. Made me defend Glee.
My name's Eddy Burback, and it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
If you've been to my channel before...
I have.
Oh my god, I thought you were somebody else. Of course I know you. We met at Brian's party. What's that, you don't know a Brian?
Just don't forget again.
Brian? You've never met a Brian in your life? Well, let's just move on. So I did not expect to make a video today, but I saw a clip from Real Time with Bill Maher that was so naive and so infuriating that
Isn't that every clip?
I just knew I had to make a video about it. So if you're unaware of who Bill Maher is, I am sorry for what I'm about to do. And if you are aware of Bill Maher, you probably have something that you don't like him for. Whether it's something that he said, how smug he can be on his show, the fact that on his show he pauses, and you will see this, he pauses for applause and laughter when he doesn't get any, and he does it all the time, every show, because he's not a good comedian, and he also isn't good at his job. Anyways, sorry, I'm getting...
Actually, I like his old comedy. I don't know if he still does stand-up. I haven't seen it in years. Maybe I'll watch it now and go, yeah, wasn't all that. But I remember loving it. As of right now, I'm going to say, God damn it, he has me defending. I'm going to go ahead and say his stand-up is good. Now, I reserve the right to change that opinion if I watch it again and go, oh yeah, no, I disagree with my younger self. His old stand-up, though, I remember being really good.
Getting ahead of myself. So let's just get into his segment, New Rule, Almost Insta-Famous. I will let it speak for itself. Let's just get right into it.
And finally, new rule, someone has to break it to America's travel vloggers that the part of life where you're retired and joyride around the country, that's supposed to come after the working for a living part, not before.
Okay, Bill. So one thing I'm very adamant about, the majority of my political view lies in the working class. It lies in trying to better lives of the average citizens, right? That is the heart of my politics. And what I can't stand is when people perpetrate this mentality that all life is about work. You work, 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 so other people can get rich, rich, rich. I hate that mentality, and if that's what Bill Maher is doing right now, which, yeah, he's gone more and more conservative, and the more you go conservative, the more you step on the working class, and the more you uphold corporations, the more you uphold rich CEOs. So I imagine that's probably what he is doing, because he is a conservative. He is conservative now, regardless of what he labels himself as.
So Bill starts off hot with saying that if you're young, you shouldn't be able to enjoy things. You should have to continue to work. But that's not the reason it made me want to make a video. Obviously, we know that's a pretty dumb point. Because who...
It's like when people say, yo, my daddy never took a day off in his life. Like, that sounds like a shit life. Like, I respect the fact that people do what they have to do a lot of times, right? You gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta play the game you're in. I get that. But acting like it's some brag-worthy thing to work your life away. Why this mentality has been pumped into people's heads, and they go along with it thinking they're all big and bad. Like, yeah, man, I'm tough. All these other people are just lazy. Like, what are you talking about? No. The propaganda has sunk so far into your head. What blows my mind is people act like getting to be like the rich CEO is the American dream, but then act like no, the working, then turn around and like, oh, working your entire life away is a virtue. So which is it? Being the CEO that spends all their time on yachts, or working your life away? So you can't uphold one and say that's the American dream, and then this over here be like this is the virtue. You're just brain fucked, right? You're just defending whatever they want you to defend. You're not thinking.
Who made the rule that you have to wait to go experience life when you're retired? You're just a workhorse until finally you get let free by a company who doesn't care about you? That's stupid. Yeah, it's made up.
It's such a stupid mentality. And people think, a lot of people think the people who attack that mentality means, oh, you just want to be lazy. You don't want to do anything. That's not what that means at all. It just means your entire focus in life doesn't have to revolve around this mundane go to work, come home, drink beer, forget your existence, go to work, come home, drink beer, forget your existence, right? It doesn't have to revolve around that. It doesn't have to be like that. But it has to be like that in order for these few people to become mega rich. It has to be like that, and that's why they perpetrate this propagandic myth.
It's in your head. But again, not the reason I'm making this video, because you'll see right after this what inspired Bill to make a segment on influencers, specifically ones that live out of their van.
Okay, I was about to say, I guess I'm involved in this as of now, but I don't live out of my van yet.
Now, in recent weeks, the country has been transfixed with the story of a young woman murdered while traveling in a van with her boyfriend. And while too much attention has already been paid, this case has taught...
Okay. Well, she's been murdered, but hey, too much attention has already been paid to her. What? Stop paying attention to this murder victim. What? I swear to God, you can pause Bill Maher after every fucking 2 words and dissect how much of a fucking idiot he is.
Me a few things.
That's right. Bill decided to make a segment complaining about influencers when he saw the very recent and still ongoing murder case of Gabby Petito. The fact that Bill saw a very tragic murder of a woman, and because she and her fiance were van life influencers, his first thought was, man, there's too many influencers these days. Let's make a segment about that. Let's make a segment about how influencers suck.
Yeah, okay, I'm so glad I'm on Eddie's side this time. Yes. So yeah, Bill Maher has become the epitome of old man yells at cloud. That is what he has become. Like he rags on the dumbest video games or in movies like John Wick are causing school shootings, and he gives no evidence. He shows little bits of evidence that's not evidence of anything. He doesn't show actual rational overview picture of statistics and correlating them with other countries and how they do things. He doesn't show anything. He just has these stupid little talking points in his audience. Like, oh, so good. Oh yes. Bill, can I come over and suck you off?
How disrespectful is that? It's so disgusting that he made this bit off of that inspiration. And keep that in the back of your head, how disrespectful this is. But the fun thing about this video is...
Yeah, that's the first statement was very disrespectful. Oh, people have been paying attention to this murder victim too much already.
His points on...
But I'm not going to focus on the murder bit.
Influencers are also wrong. So we're going to talk about that as well.
How extensive is this movement of young hipsters rejecting the dreary working life of us normies to...
So Bill Maher was referring to dreary working life, and he said, us normies.
First of all, that's exactly what Bill did. If you listen to him, I think Joe Rogan and stuff, he was on Rogan a while back. Yeah, he talks about starting comedy. He grew in fame from that. That's what Bill was doing back in the day. If you listen to him talk, he wasn't a normie. Yeah, he worked at it. Just like influencers work at what they did. Mr. Beast put in the fucking work. He analyzed the absolute hell out of... You want a good Rogan episode? Go watch Mr. Beast. I watched that twice in a week. I've never watched a Rogan episode twice in a week. That was awesome. So just like Bill Maher put in the work to be a comedian, people put in work to be an influencer. Some people put in more than work than others. Yeah, some people have it really easy. Some people don't. Some people put in, a week's worth of effort into a video. Other people sometimes just get on and jerk off and make money. I mean, I'm reacting, but I also read all the time. For the past decade, I put work into myself, so I have things of substance to say. It's like a plumber who says, "You're not paying me for how quick I can fix it. You're paying me for all the years I did to be able to do it that quick." Although I'm not getting paid, but but I would hope to sometime. But right, and so some people put in more work than others, just like with comedians. Some people put in more work than others. It's not everyone's the same. And so complaining about influencers, rejecting the life of normies, when that's what Bill Maher did. Just go listen to him talk about the old days, hanging out with all these people, Rogan, all these other people that ended up making it big. Right? They all hung out together and became anything but normies. And good for him. Except now that he has fuck you money, he's just bowing down to these corporate conglomerates. He acts like he has a gun to his head and just doing their bidding. Now that he can actually say fuck you, he chooses not to. Or he says fuck you to all the wrong people.
Bill, you are worth over $100 million.
Fuck you, money.
In what way are you a working class normie? I worked concessions at a water park and went to community college just 3 years ago. But because I have this extremely privileged job where I get to have my own schedule and make better money than I did before, I wouldn't even consider myself a working class normie. You are worth over $100 million. He is a privileged New York elite with a TV show, and he's...
Is Mr. Beast even worth that? Right? The biggest influencer on the planet, right? Is Mr. Beast even worth that? Maybe he is.
He's like, can you believe these van life influencers with 100K followers on Instagram? They're not like us working class normies.
These people living in their van while I'm sitting in my mansion. They need to be a normie like me. So I guess people have to buy a mansion, stop living out of their van, and then buy a mansion in order to be a normie.
Quick pause, I forgot to mention this when I was filming. The reason he's so rich isn't just from acting and his show. Bill Maher is a partial owner of the New York Mets.
The Mets, baby. Love the Mets.
Oh, yeah.
All right, baby, let's go get a home run.
Dude, I forgot about that. Yeah, he's owner, or wait, did he say partial owner?
He's so rich isn't just from acting and his show. Bill Maher is a partial owner of the New York Mets.
The Mets, baby.
Yeah, dude. Fucking normie over here. Look at that normie.
We love the Mets. All right, baby, let's go get a home run, baby. Love the Mets.
And he called himself a normie.
You see what I mean? Sorry for pausing it again, but do you see what I mean? How his audience will just mindlessly clap and cheer for anything. It's like politicians, right? People who clap and cheer when the politician says anything just basic, and I like America. Woo! Yeah, he likes America. It's like, what else did you expect him to say? Like, he said nothing of worth yet. Why are you cheering and slobbering all over yourself, drooling to get to his dick so you can suck him off, right? And you take away the laugh track of politics, which is clapping and cheering. That's essentially a laugh track. It plays the same function as a laugh track. Politicians have a lot of the same techniques as comedians, such as Eddie mentioned pausing, right? Bill Maher pauses for applause and stuff. That's what politicians do. And people psychologically see that pause and know, oh, I'm supposed to clap and cheer at this point. And you can see it sometimes. People aren't sure if they need to clap or cheer, at a certain pause, but they'll start to do it, even though it doesn't make sense to do it at that point. They weren't searching for applause at that point. But based on that pause, people will start clapping and cheering, and then the politician will start talking again, and it's kind of awkward, because it's like, was I supposed to clap and cheer here? But they don't do it because there was something worth clapping and cheering for. They do it because they're psychologically, they know they're supposed to. Comedians will do it. Comedians will come out and be like, Oklahoma! And they're like, yeah! Bo Burnham made fun of that mentality, like places, just cheering for places, right? It's just a place, right? But it's fine with comedy. It's whatever, right? It's just fun. You're in a fun environment. But politicians will do the same thing, America, and all this stuff, right? And do the same psychological techniques, like the pauses and getting the energy up, so people clap and cheer. Because if you take away the clapping and cheering, unlike a good comedian, you realize that they have nothing of worth to say. You realize the stuff they're saying is nonsense. It's nothing of worth at all. There's nothing of substance there. Nothing. But when you hear sitting at home and watching it, if you're watching a politician you like and you hear the clapping and cheering, that's psychologically just like in church. People say, I feel the Holy Spirit. No, you're just in a group setting, and it's a psychological tactic. That's not the Holy Spirit you feel. That's not group psychosis, but whatever the word is, right? The psychological term, right? And same with politicians and stuff. When you watch it at home, but you hear that clapping and cheering with a politician you like, it's a group mentality, and it makes you get on the side of the politician even more without even having to hear anything of actual substance. That's what Bill Maher's audience is, right? You take that away, and you realize he's not saying anything, nothing of any actual worth. So sorry for the big explanation here, but it's a tactic all these guys use, and it gets so fucking tiring if you actually know what's going on.
This movement of young hipsters rejecting the dreary working life of us normies to instead explore the country in a van, which I found very odd. This is what retirees do. They get an RV and visit our nation's many historic outlet malls.
Genuinely, I'm asking everyone, is it a common thing that only national parks are full of old retirees? Anytime you go to a national park, you see people of all ages experiencing nature, and especially somebody going in a van and traveling the country and experiencing national parks. I feel like that's an exclusively young person thing. Like, yes, families do it, and yes, retired couples do it. But the idea of like van life and escaping your life by just, abandoning everything is very much a young person idea, and has been since Bill was a kid. So I don't know why he's so mad that young people would go to national parks. What makes you so mad about them seeing a big tree? I want to go to Sequoias.
Yeah, again, it's old man yells at cloud. Oh, these kids. I just want to be mad at them. I don't even know why. It's just been pumped into my head over and over and over and over and over for decades to hate the younger generation, so I just hate them no matter what. It doesn't matter if it's irrational. I just want to hate them, right? And even millennials, we grew up, right, constantly getting shit on. So fucking hard. Just everything. Even humor, right? Millennials, are don't have a sense of humor. They say that to the generation that makes more jokes than any generation in human history, in the history of this fucking planet. Oh, this generation doesn't have a sense of humor. Right? They just want to hate. No matter what it is, people just want to hate. And now millennials are doing the same thing. They didn't learn from all the shit we got, and now I'm seeing people my age turn around, start hating on the younger generation for no fucking good reason. Just generalizing everybody. I just want to hate them all. Right? They get you to hate the younger generation because if they can get you to hate the younger generation, it's easier to get you to hate anything that's new. Right? And that's how we stay stuck. That's why it's so hard to progress with stuff like politics, quality of life, all kinds of things. Because when it's the younger generation doing this, now you can easily say, oh, see, younger generation are just lazy. They don't want to work. No, they don't want to work for slave wages, which has been going on since the fucking 1800s. Like, every decade, newspapers... since the 1800s, newspapers have been pumping out, people don't want to work these days, people don't want to work these days, people are just lazy these days, and still doing it today. It's just, when they can get you to mindlessly hate the younger generation, they can fucking control you in so many other aspects of life, and get you to want to put up a roadblock on policy and all kinds of stuff that would actually improve the fucking society. So stop mindlessly hating on the younger generations for no fucking reason, right? There's bullshit in every generation. Socrates was saying kids these days. There's movies in the 50s. 12 Angry Men, was that the one? I can't remember if that's the one. I keep forgetting to look it up. I think that came out in the 50s. I think that's the one where old men literally use the phrase kids these days. Lethal Weapon, 1989. In the 80s, Lethal Weapon, there is a character that said people in the 80s are too sensitive. These are not new topics, but they make you think it's new to the new generation, and it's not. They just want to get you to control you, and that's what Bill Maher is doing. He constantly shits on the younger generation now. He will find any way to hate on them. When he was talking about malls, kids don't want to go to malls these days. They're pieces of shit. Why do you care if they go to malls? If they were going to malls, you'd be like, oh, look at the younger generation is just, a bunch of mindless consumers hanging out at the mall all day. You would just find something to hate on them for no matter what, right? That's what people like Bill Maher do. They get you to hate the younger generation for no fucking reason.
So bad. I'm gonna do it soon. Look how big these trees are. Look how small I would look. This is to scale. This is how I would look next to one of those big old trees. Too bad I gotta keep busting my ass working in retail until I'm 65, and then I can finally see the big tree.
What if...
Yeah, see, again, it's just this mentality of work your life away, make people like me richer, right? That's what it is. That's the mentality. Yeah, and maybe one day I can see the big tree, right? It's a big fucking tree. Let people go look at the big tree. You live on this planet, right? When you think about how wonderful the planet is the planet is much more than your apartment and your workplace. There's so much more to the fucking world than your apartment, workplace, and the road that connects the two. So much more to it. How are you gonna get mad that somebody wants to explore and wants to enjoy life? It's like Duncan Trussell, great comedian. It's like he said. There's somebody staring at a waterfall right now, completely unaware of how angry and afraid he's supposed to be. How are you gonna get mad at somebody who wants to go, be somebody who stares at waterfalls? God damn it.
Of course, the whole point of van life is to film your travels and put them on YouTube. You're not a hobo, you're a content provider.
Okay, yeah, they live in their van because they're traveling, you dumb shit. They never said they were a hobo, as far as I know. Maybe they did. It just said van life. They didn't say hobo life. Again, he just uses these stupid talking points to make you think, to hate on them irrationally. You're not a hobo, you're a content creator. Yeah, they would themselves say they're content creators. But he's making it sound like he's trying to psychologically twist things to make you think, oh yeah, content creator is bad, without saying anything of any he's not connecting the rational dots in any way. You're not a hobo, you're a content creator. And people are like, oh yeah. Okay, it would make just as much sense for me to say, you're not on the moon, you're on YouTube. Oh, yeah, did you hear him, dude? Yeah, YouTube must be stupid. It makes no sense. There's no connecting of the rational dots at all.
Let other people work stupid jobs like nurse or teacher. You figured out a way to monetize
Or like, talk shows.
fucking off. Nurse or
What?
teacher.
What?
You figured out a way to monetize fucking off.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay, go tell that to your buddy Joe Rogan. He got $100 million deal. More than these people ever fucking got. That who is, one of them is now dead. Bill, go on Rogan's podcast and say that to his face. You've monetized fucking off. And you know what Rogan would say? Yeah, I did. As he's many times said, it kind of just controls itself now. He put in a lot of work. Hey, think what you want about Rogan. He put in a lot of work to get to where he is. But yeah, he's monetized fucking off and just having conversations with people. And he does it very poorly a lot of the time. Sometimes it's actually kind of good, and a lot of times it's done very poorly. So are you gonna go hate on him now? You're gonna hate on yourself? Like, what is going on right now? I feel like I'm in the fucking Twilight Zone.
Bill, what is Bill doing right now? Other than fucking off and creating content. He's the exact thing he's talking about. He just doesn't understand that a lot of content creators do a similar thing. Also, Bill, why don't you become a nurse or teacher? What are you doing that's so valuable, other than being smug on HBO? You're not even on TV for everyone. People have to pay just to see you fuck off. You're monetizing fucking off. Also, again...
At least people can watch their van life stuff for free. Yeah, dude. I love being on Eddy's side. God damn it. I love him so much more now. With that Glee video, I was like, "Urgh." No, okay. That was just a bad take. This is Eddy. This is Eddy, in his full form. Fuck yeah. But, yeah, old man yells at cloud.
He's feeling this way about van life influencers because he saw someone die. Like, what is wrong with you, dude?
Yeah, you and everybody else in your generation.
There it is. He has to get in everyone in your generation, right? He has to make sure people are starting to hate a generation. An entire fucking generation. Think how stupid that is. An entire generation. By the way, YouTube is no different than TV. You're gonna start hating on people who were on TV in the past? This is just a new way of doing TV. People hate on people because of the term influencer. That's a stupid word. Okay, who cares? It's a word. It doesn't mean you have to hate these people because, people have taught, again, buzzwords. I'm going to do a video on buzzwords at some point because they control people like fucking puppets, right? You get people to feel a certain way about a word and you can get them to feel about all kinds of other stuff without giving any substance, just knee-jerk reaction. Influencer, I've been taught that's a stupid word. Ugh, it's stupid. These people are stupid. And I was talking to someone who was like, there's a video or a article about sponsorships, like products that influencers push, like NordVPN, which is actually a very good. I use it. It's a very good VPN. Pushing products, and people were hating on it, like, ugh, who buys those products anyway? What are they influencing anyway? Right? It's like, dude, some of the products are good. Like, this is no different than people on TV selling stuff. This is just a new way of doing it. Just like back in the day, you would have commercials, or still, but you have commercials on TV. This is just that. Who cares? If it's a good product, who cares? NordVPN is a good product. I had G Fuel. G Fuel is pretty awesome. I usually drink coffee, but I wanted to check it out. It was good. It was good stuff. Who cares? Like, why are you so mad that people are making money doing this and calling themselves a word that you think is stupid? As if that's a rational reason to hate on them. I swear to God, Bill Maher and Bill Maher fans are stupid. If you're a Bill Maher fan, grow up because you're fucking stupid. Like, if you're a fan of old Bill, that might be one thing. But stop being a fan of new Bill. That is some stupid, brain-dead shit.
According to the LA Times, content creators are the fastest growing type of small business in the U.S. By one estimate, over 50 million people worldwide now consider themselves to be online creators or influencers.
So if...
See? Influencers, right? Gotta get them to hate the word so they hate the people, right? I swear to God, you think any one of those people who like Bill Maher can say anything that I'm saying right now, or do you think every one of them would just say stupid shit, right? Stupid talking points. I don't know how to think for myself. I need just stupid talking points to, I don't read books. I don't educate myself. I don't learn. I don't study. I don't take notes. I don't do anything to improve my mind. I just listen to people like Bill Maher and circle jerk me and his other audience members into a sense of superiority, so we can feel good about putting others down. No, they wouldn't have anything of substance to say. Not one of them who are mindlessly clapping and cheering for this absolute imbecile, this dullard of a fucking human being. Not one of them could say anything of substance.
If you think about this, with any knowledge about any type of business or how the internet works or even small businesses, it's very easy to see you don't have to make a big investment to grow a small business online compared to a regular small business. So obviously it would be the fastest.
And you could say the same thing about websites early on. Amazon. Bill Maher would fucking go up and suck Bezos' dick. Old Bill Maher wouldn't. New Bill Maher would. And you could say that about websites. When people were making websites. Ugh, they're influencers, bro. People making websites, and people hated on people writing blogs back in the day. Like, people just want to hate on anything that's outside the norm of corporate fucking cogs. If you're not a corporate cog, they want to hate on you.
Fastest growing type, especially with every platform now offering people a way to make money. Of course it would be the fastest growing small business. You don't have to get a loan to post a TikTok. You don't have to lease a building to make a YouTube video if you don't have to.
I'm putting up a couple of videos. Bam, I'm a content creator. It didn't cost me much, just a little bit. Yeah, so I guess I'm a content creator now. I can add my name to the statistic. Right? I mean, it's ridiculous. And then a lot of companies advertise. If you're a company that doesn't have a Facebook page or some kind of Instagram something on social media, you're fucking up. You're fucking up. People won't use TikTok because they're like, TikTok's stupid. Meh. It's like, that could have actually helped your business. I don't care what you think about social media. If you're not using it to improve your business, you're fucking up because of your own stupid old man feelings. Like, it's just ridiculous. There's no thought gone into this at all. Bill Maher is not giving any real substantial thoughts about why things are. Read books on economics. They sound boring, but like, WTF, what the fuck? WTF is a good one about some historical stuff, like ordeals and different things like that. Selling, I think, selling women, I believe. Where it doesn't defend it, but it says, how does this make sense? Why did they do it? Not that it's a good thing. You have The Invisible Hook, right? John Adams. Was it John Adams? That coined the phrase, the father of economics, who coined the phrase the invisible hand, the things that moves everything. And it's a book about pirates. The Invisible Hook is the economics of pirates. Economics teaches you to think beyond the surface level about why things are the way they are. Right? If you have the mind of an economist, you would look at things like, you would look at a statement like Bill Maher said that it's the fastest growing small business, and you would think, well, why is that? You wouldn't just take that at face value and go, yeah, I'm just gonna take that and do nothing with it. You would take that and go, okay, well, why is that? You would look at all the variables. You realize by learning some economics, it doesn't just teach you what to think; it teaches you how to think. And so you realize there's the surface level that Bill Maher is telling you, and then there's a whole iceberg of variables underneath. And the dumb people, that's why Ben Shapiro, Bill Maher, Jordan Peterson, all these idiots just perpetrating simple talking points, might doctor it up with fancy words, but all these dumb talking points, and all these people eat it up because they don't know how to think beyond the tip of the iceberg. But when you start thinking beyond the tip of the iceberg, you realize all this is fucking bullshit. But the thing is, it takes effort. It's easier just to laugh and feel superior to other people. It's easier to just simply put others down for no fucking reason than it is to spend thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of hours cultivating your mind to be able to think clearly enough to realize someone like Bill Maher is a fucking imbecile.
You can do it.
I mean, it shouldn't take that long to realize he's an imbecile, but you know what I mean. Like, just political topics, anything. It takes effort to be able to think with any real capacity about these topics.
In your room.
When we used to ask kids, what do you want to be when you grow up? They'd say, firefighter, astronaut. Now most 60-year-olds would probably say, I want to be Instagram famous, bitch.
It's funny, because it sounds like an immature thing to say, and so they must all be immature, bro.
First of all, cringe. Now, I've always wanted to talk about this dumb take on my YouTube channel. I've been begging for an excuse for it. A lot of the time when I see people really bitter at young people or at influencers, they'll always pull up these surveys of kids saying that they want to be influencers now. Kids in the 60s wanted to be astronauts. Now they want to post to Instagram. Well, maybe it's because we were going to the fucking moon in the 60s, and any kid that wanted to be like someone they saw on TV were seeing people go to the moon. And now, growing up, like for my generation, we didn't really have astronauts doing anything, so why the fuck would anyone say that? Kids want...
Bam. Just like I said, an economist mindset. Well, why is this the way it is? Not just, oh, look, this dumb talking point, bro. It's well, why is this? Why are kids not saying they want to be astronauts? Bam. Look at that. Look at that right there. Because kids in the 60s, like he said, everything was about the moon. Everything was about the moon. Now, imagine nobody having been on the moon. Imagine that. Everyone knows people have been on the moon. Well, almost everyone knows. We've been on the moon, right? But imagine nobody had ever been on the moon, and then somebody walks on the moon. Imagine how mind-blowing that would be without the knowledge that you've heard since you were a kid about people being on the moon. Imagine the mind fuck. Somebody was up there on the moon. Somebody was on there. Or going out when they were on there, you get the news that they landed on the moon. You go out, they're up there right now. Imagine how astronomically, good choice of words, astronomically wonderful that would seem. Of course, everyone would be so mind blown. I mean, how historic is that? For the first time, somebody on this planet went to something else, another, not planet, but another sphere in the sky. Holy shit. Of course, everyone was talking about it. But now, of course, kids aren't saying the same thing as they used to when it comes to the moon. Of course, if people are still going to the moon, kids might still be saying it, right? But there's no talks of, yeah, man, we got to get a man to the moon and stuff, right? There's no talk. There's talks of Mars and stuff like that, but it's a very different kind of situation with that. But you know what we do have now? Social media. It's a relatively new thing, and anyone can do it. You don't have to be this. You don't have to have the mind for an astronaut. You can have the mind for anything. Dude, you could be an influencer, a content creator. Just find something you enjoy, and you can create content. And you don't even have to make a living off of it. You can do it as a hobby. This idea, when you start thinking like an economist, right? You start realizing how all these people are just lying to you because all they're doing is spouting simple-minded bullshit. It's just drivel. It's just fucking drivel. Nobody is explaining anything to you. I mean, some people do, but like people like this, they don't explain anything. They just say shit. That's all they do. They just say phrases. Influencers. Oh, there.
Want to do what's fun for a living and what looks cool to them. They're children, all right? It's whatever you're exposing them to. And right now, they're being exposed to millions of people online doing their dream, which is whatever they want. People see a kid say that they want to be a content creator, and they think of Jake Paul immediately, when really, there are content creators who are welders. There are content creators that are educators and teachers. There are content creators who are nurses. There are comedians.
That's the thing. Like, you could be like, I want to be, the kids who used to say, like, I want to be a teacher, now might say they want to be, a content creator because they can create content teaching. So they may want to be a teacher content creator, right? They might not necessarily, want to be in a classroom setting. They might be like, see Khan Academy. They might see Crash Course, right? And the one Hank Green does, his science one, all right? They might see stuff like that and go, I want to do that. I mean, it's just, Bill Maher is such a simple fuck.
Comedians. There are people make content of everything. So a content creator is not one job of just...
And you know, if they had YouTube back when Bill Maher was starting out in his comedy, he would have been using it in one way or another.
Posting your stuff. It's posting content of some kind of talent you have, and hopefully people will grab onto it. And yes, some kids want to be Jake Paul, but that's what my channel is here for. I'm a content creator who that scares the shit out of. That's part of most of my content, is worrying about what kids are seeing and what they're exposed to unregulated online. That would be a great segment, Bill. Instead of just being like, what's wrong with these kids these days? Why don't they want to be astronauts when they've never seen someone go to the moon in person before?
And I guess why not? The supposedly media-savvy millennials and Gen Zers really do buy stuff just because some ding-dong holds it up on Instagram. They laugh at boomers buying crap on QVC, but you're doing the same thing. Grandma's buying Tupperware, you're selling...
I don't laugh at it. I've bought in G Fuel because people have peddled it, right? Because I wanted to test it out, and it was good. All right. I wouldn't have known about NordVPN if people didn't mention it. I was using a shittier one. I should have done more research on it. I would have found NordVPN probably, but you know, a lot of YouTubers began promoting it. I was like, oh, let me look into it. It's not a bad thing. Marketing is not a bad thing. Right, being a marketer's wet dream is. Don't be a marketer's wet dream. Okay, I have a lot to say about that, which I won't in this video, but I have a lot to say about that. Don't be a marketer's wet dream, but it's okay to look at stuff and I mean, marketing is how you get your product out, right? You most of the stuff you have, you probably wouldn't have if it wasn't for some form of marketing. Marketing is not a bad thing, right? How you market sometimes can be a bad thing. There's unethical marketing, but what is he on about right now? What is he on about right now? I don't understand. Well, one time PewDiePie had a tambourine in his videos. He started using a tambourine at his desk or something. Tambourine sales went up. But who cares? People were just having fun. They were just having fun with them. You know what I mean? Like, dude, not everything's some malicious scheme against you, Bill. Like, it's okay. Oh, people buy G Fuel because some influencer. Okay, well, I'm sure there's some idiots who bought HBO simply because of you. I want to watch Bill Maher. I'm going to buy HBO. HBO has some good stuff, but buying it simply for Bill? Come on.
Each other. The only difference is she's suffering from dementia. What's your excuse?
He's so dumb.
Anybody, I'm really asking, for people
dumb.
who are boomers, for people who are Gen X, Gen Z, millennials, has anybody ever really criticized boomers saying that they think they fall for ads more often? I don't think any of us pride ourselves in not falling for ads. It's literally a thing that clouds every bit of experience online for us.
I keep hearing that there are no good jobs out there. Well, there certainly are many shitty jobs out there, but there are also millions of openings in professional and business services, education, health, construction, retail, manufacturing. America right now has more job openings than at any time.
And you could also do all those things in some kind of capacity on social media.
Time in its history, and more than there are people looking. A lot of the time, there are no good jobs out there. Just means I want to be Kim Kardashian.
Just means I want to be a comedian.
So this is where
he said a funny.
I really think it puts into question whether or not Bill Maher should have a TV show even, because Bill is trying to say that a labor shortage because of a pandemic and all the factors that came with 2020 is because Gen Z and millennials, these damn kids, want to post to Instagram instead of work, construction,
mindset.
And retail?
Think it through.
What? What are you talking about? What percentage of Gen Z and millennials are famous influencers? Not a huge percentage, because you have to get lucky. Yes, there's a ton of avenues to get a following, but the amount of people who actually do their job as influencers is growing, but not at a rate where you can't find labor anymore.
And also, social media is the internet is a very new thing. It's a very new thing. It goes in phases and motions, right? Right, it's just like virtual reality and augmented reality, you will. It's a new thing. So when you have something new like that, yes, it's it's going to have its phases. It's going to have people a lot. You're going to have your Jake Pauls and your people who see this new thing and want to exploit this new thing. People who scam, right? All those giveaway scams. People will always find a way to exploit. There will always be dumb people or bad people to point to and say, oh yeah, see, they're bad, but that doesn't mean all of them are bad. And just because you have someone like Mencia, doesn't Amy Schumer also steal jokes? Doesn't mean that all comedians are joke stealers. But they always want to point to, Kim Kardashian. Let the social media stuff go through its growing pains. 20 years from now, 10 years from now, it might look very, very, very different than it does now. It's a new thing. It's still being ironed out, and of course people want to jump in on it. Why wouldn't you? It's something everyone can do. Like Eddie said, everyone can do it. Why would you not want to at least dabble in it a little bit?
Like, what? Why do you have a show?
It means I want my job to be I'm me, and people pay to watch that.
Dude, was that Eddie's editing? Was that Eddie's editing? If he was an editor, that would be a good company name. Eddie's Editing. Dude, was that him that zoomed in on Bill smiling like that? Oh, let's watch that again. Did anyone catch that irony?
Be I'm me, and people pay to watch that.
You know what?
Dude, it's like he has a gun to his head. Like he even knows what he's saying is absolute dog shit. But he's just like, ugh, they're making me say this. It's like, dude.
You know what, guys?
Even he's not buying his shit.
Guys, I think that Bill Maher actually has a point here. He made that good point on Real Time with Bill Maher, starring Bill Maher, where Bill Maher gives opinions that he thought of. How could he say this not realizing that he gets paid to be him and host the show? Because Bill Maher's segments, yes, he does have discussion and debate, but a portion of his show is let's see what Bill thinks today. What is the difference between you and a content creator? Nothing. Because you all are a content creator, you just do it on TV. It's the same job, except Bill has people that he pays to be funny and to make a good show for him, which I would start paying them a little more, Bill. And content creators mostly have to do it themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, Bill, you're actually taking the easy way, right? You're taking the easy way right now. And yeah, like Eddie said, and like I said before, it's the same thing. It's just a new format, right? It's going from cassette to CD, from CD to MP3, from MP3 player to Spotify, right? It's just the new format, right? Things change, Bill. Stop being a grumpy old man that can't handle any fucking change. God damn it.
There's new shit that you won't accept because people do that. Old people, they look back at the good old days and it was good because they were young. But they act like it was the day. No, it was because youth is good. That's gone and you're fucked. It's not the day, and then they reject anything that's new. It's like we do with fucking hip-hop if you're in your 30s. Oh, fuck that ain't music. We had music back when 38 Special was around. Why no? Let's all fucking kill ourselves for the hypocrisy, right?
72% of Gen Zs say they'd like to be an online celebrity. They don't even want to achieve something that makes them famous. That would involve that pesky step of developing some sort of talent.
You know when kids said they wanted to be astronauts? How many of them said I wanna go to school for this long and study every night, and then they wanted to be astronauts because they wanted to walk on the moon and shit because it was cool. Okay? That's why. Right? They weren't thinking about achieving it. They just wanted to do it because it was cool. Okay, so they wouldn't be that because like Eddie said, that's what they see. It's cool. Okay? And plus, to be an online celebrity, you do have to achieve something, by the way, Bill, you fucking idiot. But yeah, no kid thinking, I want to be an astronaut, was thinking about all the years of studying, you got to put off the partying so I can study, and right? No kid was thinking about achieving that. They just wanted to be that. You dumb fuck.
Their skill. No. getting followers, that is the achievement.
So I want to stop everything here because I saw that and I was like, 72% of Gen Z said they would like to be an online celebrity. He's suggesting that they're saying that they want to do that as their job, like that's their dream, which seemed like a number that wasn't real. So
I mean, it's just like the astronaut thing. It's really not much different. If you know, because how many kids actually went to grew up to try to be an astronaut? How many, Bill? Right? The same thing with this. Like, even if 72% did say that, but they grew up doing other things, right? It's just, oh, that would be cool, right? It's just full stop right there. Oh, a kid thinks it would be cool to do something. Full stop. That's what it is. Who cares?
I looked into it, and YPulse is a company that does surveys. So it's not like a scientific study. They just asked a lot of Gen Z and millennials, but I couldn't find even the number of people they asked. So
real quick, right before he does this, checking out surveys or polls and stuff is very important. Like, you got to know where they come from, because statistics, polls, stuff like that, people will manipulate the fuck out of you with marketing techniques, with polls, right? Like, I was watching Fox News one time, and I was like, they showed a poll, and I was like, I went and searched it out, found out where that poll came from. It came from their own website. It's like, this many people think this. It's like, yeah, who goes to your website, Fox News? People who think the way you do. So of course, that poll is going to skew things in your favor, right? You always have to know where these polls and shit come from. People, when it comes to graphs, I mean, statistics, graphs, people can manipulate the ever-loving fuck out of you with those things. You know, graphs, the way they do graphs sometimes, right? It makes something seem astronomically, you know, well, look at this graph, how this goes this way. But if you actually looked at it in context of other things, it's really not that big of a deal. So you always be careful when it comes to polls and stuff like that, which I'm sure he's about to show us. Bill Maher fucking was manipulating.
Couldn't access the data from YPulse because not only is it locked behind a paywall, but you have to prove that you're a business looking for this survey
I hate that. Surveys and polls should not be behind paywalls. Just like science, right? A lot of scientific articles were around paywalls, but some lady in the Middle East created a website. I can't remember what it is. Created a website that allowed you to access all the scientific articles for free and studies and all that stuff, which is awesome. She should win the Nobel Prize. But stuff like that should not be behind paywalls.
To purchase. But they did write an article about this survey. And when you look at the article, you realize that the survey was just about the relationship between Gen Z, millennials, and celebrity culture. The questions consisted of, who would you rather spend the day with, a Hollywood celebrity or an online celebrity? They were answering a yes or no, would you like to be an online celebrity?
Context is key. Context is key. My God, people who pay attention to the bill are fucking idiots. If that's you, you're an idiot. I'm straight up. I'm helping you right now. Realize you're an idiot. Admitting it is half the battle. So, quite a lot of the battle, actually. People don't like to admit they're idiots. Fucking stop listening to Bill Maher. Start listening to actual intelligent people. Start reading books. Start learning how to think like an economist. Start realizing there's more variables to all these politicians and people spouting simple. When you hear a simple-minded talking point, just a simple talking point, no, there's so much more underneath that you're not seeing.
Celebrity, which as we
Stop being an
discussed
idiot.
before, could be any type of job. You would just have a following and financial stability, which that generation does not have. And if Bill or any of his researchers had actually read the article, it finishes by saying, but those worried about the future of the generation or assuming they all just want to be YouTubers can breathe easy. When we look at their goals and aspirations overall, the majority of Gen Z and millennials say that being famous is not important to them. I mean,
they called Bill out. They already called Bill out. For those assuming, oh my God. Oh my God. And even if they were saying they wanted to even if they did want to be YouTubers and stuff, again, it's like the astronaut thing, right? They just want to be was cool, and Bill still wouldn't be taking in all the variables. But even then, clearly He is manipulating. He didn't want to show you the study. He didn't want to explain to you the study. Hey, instead of this little talking point to create a little bit of humor that's going to make you judge people irrationally and really cause the downfall of your minds, I could take a couple minutes and actually talk about the study. But no, this is a simple talking point that makes it giggle. That's so much cooler, and it doesn't take as much effort to think, right? It takes effort to actually understand things. The dumbest people always have the most confidence in their bullshit, man. You'll have dumb fucking people say the simplest talking point they heard their favorite talking head say and think they're so smart. They just hear a stupid talking point and then they're all confident in their hate against other people.
I mean, what else do you want me to say here?
They don't even want to achieve something that makes them famous. That would involve that pesky step of developing some sort of talent or skill. Getting followers, that is the achievement.
This is so fucking misleading. And Bill Maher shouldn't have a show. That's like me walking up to somebody and saying, hey, would you rather be rich or not rich? I don't know, I'd rather be rich. And I turn to them and I'm like, all you want to do in life is be rich? How shallow are you?
I'd say take a good long look at yourself, but plainly that's all you do all day.
Okay,
stupid.
So the best, most beautiful part of this whole segment is when Bill says, take a good long look at yourself, but plainly that's what you do all day. Because if you picture, just POV, you are Bill Maher. Bill Maher is sitting on a stage with an audience, looking at a camera where next to it there.
My thing is covering it up a little bit. It says, this is Colbert, but it's the same setup.
Is sitting on a stage with an audience, looking at a camera where next to it there is a TV monitor with Bill Maher on it. And he's looking at himself on the TV screen. But Bill, just completely clueless, is looking at himself on TV and can't recognize the irony. Beautiful. Beautiful job, Bill Maher.
When I read about this...
Beautiful job, Eddie. God, Eddie and I make a good team. I'm sorry about the dismantling of his arguments on the Glee video. Fucking A, dude. Get him, Eddie. Get him.
Couple riding around for 4 months. I thought, how lovely that would have been when I was 22. Nobody these days seems to be up for enduring those
people on this panel also suck him off. That's so funny.
Those early shitty jobs and shitty apartments we all had as a matter of course.
A lot of influencers start out with a webcam and their laptop microphone in a shitty apartment, doing it after a shitty day of work. What are you talking about, Bill? Holy shit.
Course on the way to something better.
What's crazy to me is Bill is like a political commentator and he doesn't know the facts that his generation could work a minimum wage job and have a shitty apartment and afford to go to school and afford all these things. And
yeah, that's a whole other topic. That is a whole other topic. But yes, Bill Maher is not taking all that into account, which is deserving of a video in and of itself.
Due to the minimum wage not raising and also inflation, it's impossible for our generation. Times have changed, Bill, and you can't force people to be poor no matter how much you want them to be. So I did react.
Oh, he can. He's on the side of the people who are. They are who is propping him up. He played into their hands. Once he got that fuck you money, he's right into their hands. He is those people that with those people that are forcing people to be poor. They're literally forcing people to be poor.
To the rest of this and film it, but looking back in editing, Bill is really just a broke.
You know, he's on their side, and his part in it is to get people to hate their peers, right? Oh, I hate you because you're younger. I hate you because this, but you're all in the same pile over here. But I'm gonna get you to hate each other instead of hate the actual people that are causing all the problems. It's like Jordan Peterson who's like, oh, men have such problems, but he never calls out the actual problem, the main problem that men have, which is other men.
record for the last 2 minutes of the segment. He hates Gen Z and he hates influencers. But looking back on this segment as a whole, all he does is use a survey incorrectly and a girl's murder as tools to shit on a generation that he does not understand. Even if you agree with what Bill's saying here, if you think influencers are mostly garbage and you hate Gen Z and millennials, this segment is not doing you a single favor. It is incorrect and it is disrespectful as hell. Also, it's just not funny. Bill is just not a funny he's just
like, comedy is subjective. I can't say he's not funny, but it's very, if you find him funny, it's very extraordinarily low quality humor. Low quality. I mean, it's like Gutfeld, almost not quite, but almost Gutfeld level cringe. I can't say he's not funny because comedy is subjective, but you can't talk about the quality of humor.
He's not a comedian to me. He's a guy that says what he thinks are jokes, but they're just not funny. Maybe it's just me, though. So thank you for watching this video. Also, I got a new video coming out.
Okay, I'm back.
He thinks are jokes, but they're just not funny. Maybe it's just me, though. So thank you for watching this video. Also, I got a new video coming out. Should be in the next couple of days on my channel, Burback. I run it with my twin brother, Tony. The Burback channel is kind of the way Tony's gonna move out here, and so we'd love the support because I want...
Oh, does he have another channel? I'm assuming his twin is himself. But go check out his other channel. I might have to check out his other channel. Let's see what he has to say. Finish up. Oh no. What'd I do?
I want my brother here because I love him. Ew, gross. All right, well, I just want to say, Bill Maher, if you're watching this, I'm funnier than you and I'm hotter than you. So what are you gonna do?
Yeah, if I had a choice, if I was gay and I had a choice, I would pick Eddie over Bill.
What are you gonna do? Fight me? I can beat you in a fight as well. If I can fight you, you can't be annoyed at me. What are you gonna do? Fight me?
All right, go subscribe to him, hit the bell, like the video. I like this one much more than the Glee one. Holy shit, that Glee one was, left a bad taste in my mouth. But Eddie rinsed it out. Is that a Burback video? Remember when Microsoft lied to us? Oh, it is. Whew, I might have to check that one out sometime. But yeah, so go sub to him, go like his shit. And anyway, well, enough has been said. Bill Maher is an idiot. Don't be an idiot who follows idiots. The thing is, if you always follow an idiot, you will always have to follow an idiot. They don't teach you to think. They don't teach you how to think, right? An intelligent person, somebody worth looking up to, will show you how to think better. And over time, you will develop better skills at thought. And you might even become intelligent to realize, oh, this person is saying dumb shit. You should be able to pick out when the people you're looking up to says something stupid. And not just stupid because, oh, I don't know, I that doesn't play into my biases and presuppositions, right? No, but it's stupid because I can connect the rational dots. But if you listen to idiots who just spout talking points, that's all you will ever be able to do, is spout simple-minded talking points and never actually know what you're talking about, but have all the confidence in the world that you know what you're talking about.